Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. This is DC Born Rob Erasing Borders. Thank you guys for joining me. This is something I'm going to try a little bit different. It's a live, but I'm trying to make it so that our WhatsApp group members can actually call in and talk live. So hence the reason you see my phone set up next to my mic. So I want to cover a few things today. I've seen the chat line. We've had great success with the chat line, by the way. I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday when I sent out the word that I wanted to start a WhatsApp group because there's a lot of information that's already out there from you guys and just in comments. And everybody doesn't read everyone else's comments. So I wanted to consolidate it and put it into one group. And man, it's better than I thought it could be. I mean, there's information from experienced people who are there on their way today or tomorrow or next week or next month or in a couple of months, and those who have been there before and those that are going to be their first trip. And those are the guys that really need the information and the help from you guys. Now, quick note again, we do have gals and guys, okay, guys and gals. So we have to be respectful of, just act like your sister, like I said before in the little message I put out. Act like your sister is watching. So, okay, I got a few guys already on here. Let's see, Peter says, have been meaning to thank you for all your useful information. Hey man, I'm glad it helps. I've been there before. I've had the experience. I love it. I want to pass that on. And there are a lot of people who have this information to share. Again, the WhatsApp group, I said I would do the first 100 free, and after that, it's going to be $10 per person. We're at 70 something right now. So by the time this airs, there'll be another 25 roughly free spots to join. Just send me an email to dcbornrobgroup@gmail.com. dcbornrobgroup@gmail.com. I'll send you a link. You click on the link. When you jump in, just say, hey, my name is Joe, and I'm in the group. And, if you just chime in where you can, there's a lot of guys who are there. Some guys are sharing videos. Some guys are sharing videos on trips prior to this one. So hopefully you guys will get some benefit from it. I have a few key people. I know New York Marine 21 is always there. Rose is a big part of the channel too. A lot of you guys who, Israel, I see you in there. There's a lot of guys who are just active in the chat. For me, I've seen no more so than New York Marine 21. His name is Luis. I'm going to call Luis and see if this works in a couple of minutes. But let me read a couple of messages while I have him here. Okay. Peter says, you're planning to go for the first time in March. Okay, so that's not far. You got, you got a couple of weeks. And you in March, depending on when you want to go, that's going to be a trip, man, for your first time. You learn a lot about my videos and other guys that look like you in my program. Oh yeah. Oh, cool, man. He's over here somewhere, man. He's chilling though. Yeah, hey, much appreciated, man. Shay, what's up, man? How's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes and I'm gonna attempt this first phone call. And then for those again who are in the chat group, join me here. You can type in a comment also, but also give me a call on my WhatsApp number, which would be in there too. Sam, you plan to be there next week for the first time? Oh man, yeah. Man, I know that feeling, especially if you've been watching a whole bunch of videos. I watched Ace Live before I came down, and Carlton's Travel Adventures, and Sly. Those were the three people that I focused on, and I watched all the videos too. Carlton had videos talking to cops and lawyers and security and insurance, and great resources. But just watching Ace's story when he first began, he was at the airport in Miami and saying he's just going to make this happen and going to do it, was a motivating factor to get me there. If you go back and look at my old videos, you'll see the first video I put up. Okay, I'm sitting on a couch, on that same black couch. It's all over Medellin. And I told my story. So, but then little by little, I got into that, and I ended up in Vietnam. And then I ended up in Guatemala. Love Guatemala, man. I implore you guys, you got to get out to Guatemala. Okay, let's see what else. Plan to go next week. It's 1970 for the first time. Oh, since 1970? Is that what you're saying? I can imagine what it was like back then. Man, he says, do you still need a PCR test to get into Colombia? Yes, you do, as far as I know. 96 hours, a negative test result, and it has to be PCR to get there. Coming back, it can be either rapid or PCR. Hey, much appreciated, TM. Thank you so much, man. Okay, Sylvester says, thanks for all the good information. I'm planning on visiting in the summer. Oh, man. Yeah, I hope to be there in the summer. I got one more shot to go, and then a couple of weeks after that, and I'll start to feel comfortable. And then I'm back on the road again. I may end up in Guatemala first, to Antigua and Lake Atitlan. But, you know, Medellin is right there. There's a lot to see in Medellin. I want to announce a few things here, too. Let me wait till a few more people join me. And as a matter of fact, let me see if I can't work my phone while I'm here. Okay, let me see if I can't make the first phone call. Where's the, okay. Now you tell me if you can hear this too. Luis.
Hey, what's up, Rob? How are you?
I'm doing well. I hear you well. So hopefully this mic is good enough to be picked up. So on the phone right now, I have Luis. He's also known, when you see his name in there, as New York Marine 21, or either I logged him that way. That's the way you'll see him in the comment section also. He is an active participant in the group chat. So I've asked Luis, I guess a couple of days ago, I said, look, man, you're always there. You know, I'm editing, I'm putting out videos, I'm working a day job, and life is still moving on. But I noticed he was very active and had all the information. Almost every question that was asked of you guys, he's one that had one of the answers. Him, Rose, a bunch of you guys already have this information, but I have asked him to be my moderator, which means that he's always there, just like now. He'll be able to admit people into the group, and he'll be just monitoring if I'm not there. Anybody ask any questions, welcoming new guests when they come in. And when you join too, jump in and say, hey, this is Ted. I'm new to the group. I'm going down next week or whatever. And the rest of you guys already just go ahead and shout in, chime in. But hey, Luis, you want to say a couple of words?
Oh, definitely. My experience with Medellin Colombia and other parts of Colombia were always amazing. Each time I go, it's a new experience. Every single time I head down there, there's something new that I learn. And I'm able to harness all that information and give you guys all the tips. And the best effective tip I can to give to all the viewers. It's the best thing always in terms of safety. It's like any other city, other country. Just be mindful. It's another culture. Always be observant, but it's no different. I always go down there happy or confident, but be careful as well. It's the same thing when you go to other cities in the U.S. But other than that, it's an awesome time. Every time one goes, it's an awesome time to experience and have fun, especially pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and after the pandemic. So it's awesome.
Okay, excellent. Well, again, Luis is always there from what I can tell. So if you have any questions, any basic questions that you think I may be able to answer, there's 99% chance that he can answer that too, as far as living there. I lived there for a while, but he's going back and forth all the time, and he's got recent contacts there too. And again, like I said, I'm not going until this calms down, maybe another month and a half or something like that before I head back down. So, hey, Luis, I'm gonna let you go. If you will, just chime in when you can. If someone asking any question, if you can offer an answer, it would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, no problem. It'll be a pleasure.
Okay, I appreciate it, Luis. I'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
Okay, all right, bye. Okay, so somebody do me a favor and give me a thumbs up and let me know what the quality of the audio was from the phone to the microphone. And let me get a couple of comments while I'm on here too. Okay, See, Classy Bro says, hello, DC, planning to go May, June of this year. It's good timing. Everything it looks like it's calming down. If you have been watching my videos over the past 4 or 5 months, man, it was a struggle from September when they first really opened to, then they're going to shut it down, then they're going to require PCR tests. Let's see, there's a big difference between Bogota and Medellin in living wise and in the expenses between the two cities. That I don't know. Always check out Numbeo too. If you see my source, Numbeo, Numbeo, and they do comparisons from city to city, and you can do Medellin to Bogota that way. But if anybody else is watching and you have some information, chime in. And again, join the WhatsApp group. There's again maybe 25 spots. I think there was 27 spots and a couple more, 3 or 4 that I admitted earlier, but I don't know if they've clicked in yet. So it's going to be the first 100. After that, it's going to be a $10 fee to join the group. The information is there. If you're moving there and you need this information, the information is on the chat line. I'm doing the best I can and updating with some news stories, giving you news about the area. But the information is on the WhatsApp group chat. So again, send me an email just requesting to be in the group. Give me your name and your phone number, and I'll send you a link. Again, it is to dcbornrobgroup@gmail.com. dcbornrobgroup@gmail.com. Okay, let's see what else. Manny Ventura says, what's your favorite thing about Guatemala? Is the same nightlife as Medellin? No. Well, I mean, if you're in Guatemala City, it's a big city. We were there a few days. Yeah, we went out. This is all pre-pandemic. So yeah, the last trip we took was actually when they were just starting to check it last March. We got stuck. Well, not stuck. We were coming back from Guatemala before when they were first starting to lock things down here in the U.S. But 2 different things. I did a comparison. Look for my video, Antigua versus Medellin, and that should give you an idea as to what I think about the main differences between the 2 major cities. Country-wise, I mean, Guatemala City is a happening spot. There's some areas just like some areas in Medellin. Just some no-go areas. You know what I mean? We stayed in Zona Uno, and then I've had people who comment on my Guatemala videos to say, I'm ashamed. We don't even go there. And I was like, well, wasn't that bad for us? I'm there with my girl. We walking up and down Sexta, and then we never had a problem. At Mercado, everything there. There's places to go in Guatemala City, of course. It's a major, major city. But then outside of that, you want to get to Antigua. Antigua is just beautiful. It is my favorite city in the world. Yes, and that's above Medellin. But watch that video and you'll see why, though. But if you're going for the girls, in Sola, you're going for girls, or the girls are going for guys, then you may want to go to Colombia instead. But 2 different things. If you like culture, if you like scenery, just imagine seeing a volcano, 2, 3 volcanoes outside your window. Live, active volcanoes. One you can see shooting, puffing out every day. Fuego. And that blew look that up, Fuego in Guatemala. That blew, a couple of years ago. But anyway, beautiful city, cobblestone street, places to party. They do shut down early. So if you like to be out partying late, probably not for you. Or Lake Atitlan, if you just want to get away, man, there's a large expat group there too. Just watch my videos from Guatemala and you'll see what I think about that. Okay, Brother Rob, good to see you, man. Hey, Rose, what's up? See, so Rose is one of my regulars, okay? He's in the group, and I'm gonna tell you, he's probably right up there with Luis as far as information on going to Medellin and where to stay. And I want to jump into that in a second too. Where are the best places to stay? And Rose, you're welcome to call in. Let me give it about 5 more minutes before I ask you guys to call in if anybody wants to call in. But and you have my number on the just private call me on the WhatsApp. But Rose, let's see what will say. I see Ben. Okay. Ben Omar, he says, I want to go back and try Medi or somewhere else because I usually do Bogota, but it seems like a lot of uncertainty down there now, and I don't want to do a PCR test. Remember, you can do either or to come back. Oh, you don't want to do a PCR test going. I got you there. But if I'm not mistaken, you just got back, right? And somebody just asked what oh, you haven't been to Medellin. If you can comment on, and I'm talking to Ben Omar, if you can think of some, financially how it is to stay in Bogota, that may help the question that I just got. Okay, twice. Rose says, question, how can people be dancing in clubs, not worrying about getting COVID? Many not wearing masks. Doesn't this make some of you a little bit nervous? Me? That's why I'm here. And I'm not going until I get my second shot, because I have diabetes. I have a pre-existing condition, so I'm not playing with it. Never wanted to play with it. That's why I haven't been out, because I'm a traveler, I've been all around the world, and my whole goal is to get back out all around the world. But as of right now, that's not going to happen until my second shot and a few weeks later after that. Okay, good quality of the camera phone. Thumbs, excellent. Okay, so you can hear it. Okay, great audio. Excellent, thank you. You heard Luis well. Thanks, Keon. TM, do you have any relationships with the apartment rental agencies? It's getting more difficult to rent short-term, 30 days or less. I do not yet. I've had a couple of people reach out to me recently about that, but I don't have any relationships with anyone now. But again, that information is on the WhatsApp. These guys have stated a bunch of them, a bunch of locations in Poblado or Laureles or wherever you want to stay, Envigado. But I also, let me throw this out too, because I want to let everybody know. I promote Andres for pickups and drop-offs at the airports, okay? He does that as a favor to me. He's actually a tour guide and has a tour company. I asked him to see if he can't, pick up and drop off my guys safe, okay? Safe, comfortable. You don't have to get worried about being pulled over by the police. He's got a nice car, so, just like you don't recommend everybody for a job, I don't recommend everybody, period, for a job or, or for a tour guide or for a pickup. I would not just recommend anybody. I've heard some comments, people have it cheaper, that's fine. But for me to recommend somebody, I'm recommending Andres. His number again will be in the description below. But another reason I use him is because 10% of the money that he earns from that comes to me. That money is being donated to Comuna 8. That's my charity there. It's called the El Faro Neighborhood, if you're familiar with it. If not, you need to do that tour. I did that tour with Andres when I was there, probably the third mountain. Probably shouldn't have climbed 3 mountains in 3 days. I did Tres Cruces and Guatape too. And so I probably should have done that, but I walked up to the top of that mountain too. But you really need to have that experience. If you want to learn the culture, go. Don't just go and walk around Parque Lleras and Provenza, okay, or Laureles or Setenta. Take some of the tours. Like I saw some of you guys earlier talking, Luis telling you, take a horseback riding lesson. Go get on a pontoon boat at Guatape. Do something, see something of the city. I'm going to do a video with Andres soon this week. About different adventures that you can go on, waterfalls, hikes through the woods. Just see the country, man. Just, and give some money back to the place. Every tour that you do with Andres, he gives me again, well, doesn't give me, but he's holding 10%, and that 10% is going to be, I am donating to, that's my charity. It's his charity, it's my charity. He asked me months ago to help him out when this first happened. I'm blessed enough to be one of the few, well, not few, one of the people with still a good job, a good boss, and I'm blessed. So that money's not coming into my pocket. But trust me, I'm a businessman. But that money's not coming into my pocket. It's going to be donated to the El Faro neighborhood of Comuna 8. They just got bus service when I was there. And we're talking on the side of the mountain. They were walking up and down these mountains and just got the bus. Watch my video on the bus ride back down too. Man, that was a trip. This bus comes flying down this thing. It's a 2-lane. Well, people come up and down, but I swear it's a 1-lane road. I don't know how they do it. These bus drivers can drive, man. They can drive. But let me see what else is up here too, because I don't want. It's gonna pass me if I don't. Okay, if I don't see it. Okay, apartment rental. I'm gonna check into that. I'll have somebody that I'm recommending. And again, when I do find somebody, I'm gonna ask them to donate a proceeds of that money to whatever, to be the same amount, but just a certain percentage they will take away and donate to my charity. Okay, and it will be on behalf of DC Born Raw viewers. Okay, it will be on behalf of you guys, not just me. Okay, I found the people in Bogota were very nice, little shady, and you will see a lot of questionable things in Bogota. But being from New York, I love the vibe of the city. There you go. That's from Ben Umar. He says it's extremely cheap, but I can't compare to Medi because I haven't been. Okay, my advice is to use common sense, and you'll be fine. I was there last month, and I'm all ready to go back. Yeah, I remember when you were going, and I don't know what you stayed a couple of weeks or a week or so. Let's see. TM says I'm going to join the WhatsApp group. Okay, I'm going to be in Medellin next month. Yeah. You're going to need some, the guidance is there, man. Let me tell you something. These brothers and sisters know their information for Medellin. It's a wealth of information. So it's a good way. I'm glad I did it because it's just consolidated what I'm able to put out weekly in videos and then what people have as far as their own practical experience. You know, it's like buying from Amazon. You get the personal reviews. But okay, I also have, I put out a message a day or two ago about Brooklyn's restaurant. There's a couple of brothers that have spots there. You definitely want to stop by in Medellin. You definitely want to stop by Sweet Georgia Cafe. Tell Rob I sent you. Tell that Rob, DC Rob. Make sure you say DC Rob because everybody's going to go Rob. They're going to think it's him. The owner's name is Rob. Whether you go to the Laureles location or the Poblado location, you want to know resources? They have a meetup on Monday too for expats. But just anytime you go, if you want to find out some information, how's the best way to get insurance? How do I get a visa? How do I get a student visa? How do I, you know, all that information is there. Let me tell you something. These people know their business and they're from everywhere. Black, white, Spanish, Canadian, of course. A lot of Canadians I found are going down. So that information is there at Sweet Georgia Cafe. Make sure you reach out to Rob. Tell him DC Rob or DC Born Rob sent you down. But Brooklyn's, I sent you to Brooklyn's and the call went out just, what, a couple hours later says, hey man, you put the call out, we down here, Brooklyn's, we talking to Chef Jay right now. So I asked Chef Jay to send me, well, let's see if we can call him first. Let me try. He had, we had issues with the Wi-Fi earlier, but let's see if I can't get him on now. Okay, he is chef, so he may be cooking. So, and if I don't get him in a second, okay, let me try this. I asked him earlier to go ahead and send me a, and you can't see, but they're walking into the restaurant, and he's got a message for you. It's a good little video because he's inside of his restaurant, but here you go.
In Medellin. Appreciate you guys coming to the restaurant and support. I had the opportunity to meet JC Brown for contact, and we both decided to support community. So proceeds, 50% of the proceeds will be going to Brooklyn to dine. We'll be going to the charity, so hopefully you'll come and check us out. Eat good and feel good.
Excellent. So that was from Chef Jay at Brooklyn's restaurant. He's in Poblado. Okay, so stop by and see him. I'll make sure you have all the contact information. I'll add that. I'll have to add that later to the description. But you need to stop by Brooklyn's. And let me tell you something. I'm going to show some videos too. Once I can't do it live, but once I record the next video, man, the food looks good. So he is a real chef with chef experience, not a cook, chef experience. So the food looks good. You guys need to get by there and support that. And again, he is doing me a favor and he's donating a percentage of the ticket for whoever says, okay, Rob sent you there. I don't know, DC Rob sent you there, or DC One Rob, or Rob, whatever, that I sent you there. And a percentage of your check is going to go to El Faro, our charity there in Colombia. We're trying to give back. Don't just want to take, we want to give something back, okay? So much appreciated, Chef Jay. Okay, let me see. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Okay, okay, Tarsus, hi Rob. I'm retired Army and I'm thinking about moving to Medellin. What does $1,500 a month, $1,500 a month flat look like now? Are you saying a flat, like an apartment? Spending $1,500 US on an apartment? If so, you're gonna live nice. Even furnished too. I'd say you're gonna live nice, especially for a long-term lease. Now, if you're saying, can you live on $1,500, that's different. You can still do that, but not as comfortably. And it just depends on what your lifestyle is too. You know, I tell people, it depends. Do you want to go out and party? Do you want to eat at nice restaurants every night and you don't want to eat, you know, typical local? If you eat local, yeah, you can save some money. You go grocery shopping, you're going to save some money. But I personally was a wrappy man. I cooked once or a couple times and that was a wrap. You watch my video of me cooking the salmon from way back when with that corn. Didn't come out right. Never touched it again. Oh, I meant to bring this with me. Let me show you this. Okay, I found this at the grocery store yesterday. I saw it about a month and a half ago at the HEB here, but they didn't have it after the first 2 or 3 days. These are called, they call them here, they're called golden berries. But if you are in Colombia or you are going to Medellin, Colombia, these are called uchuva. Uchuva. And let me tell you something, they're good. They're a little tart. How do I describe it? Like a little tart grape, but grittier than a grape, not all smooth flesh, but they're little orange things. If you go out to Parque RV, they will have, that's the first time I had it. They had big containers and they were like probably 75 cents for a big container. This cost me $5 here in Houston, this little thing. I mean, that's literally like a quarter a piece. But of course, they're coming from Colombia, so it's native to Colombia. Uchuva, check that out when you go to Medellin, or if you are there, you got to try it. Okay, again, I'm donating to El Faro Neighborhood of Comuna 8. I want to make sure that's known. And that's a percentage of anybody who does a pickup or a drop off, or a pickup or drop off anywhere around the area. He can go to Guatemala, he can get you horses, he can get you all different type of rentals in Bahia, Andres. So doesn't matter where you want to go, you just let us know and we'll work that out. Okay, so yeah, let me know. And I'm going to read and see, Tasha, if you answered. Yep, Maureen. Medellin is awesome. Lots of info being passed on the WhatsApp group. That's right. Join the WhatsApp group. Email me, dcbornrob.group at gmail.com. dcbornrob.group@gmail.com. I will send you a link. We have about another 25 spots. After that, I'm going to charge $10 per. And again, that's going to go to my charity also. So it's not coming to my pocket. I'll figure out, if you want to support me financially, and I have had the question too, well, how do I make money? I get a few dollars now from YouTube, well, actually percentages of pennies, but you know, it adds up when you're a big YouTuber, which I'm not. So hopefully I get there one day with your help. But as of right now, I'm not making money on that. I'm not making any to support what I'm doing, and especially the amount of time that I put into it. So there are links in the description of all my videos. If you're booking an Airbnb, click that link, go through that to book that. And I think we both get a disc. You get a discount and I get, I don't know, a credit or something like that. So click on that link, or any of the other things that I use. And I don't recommend anything unless I use it, like Fiverr. You know, when you hear my intros at the beginning, I have a Jamaican intro. I have another guy that introduces me. That's off of Fiverr. My thumbnails from Fiverr. My music, if you heard my song at the end of the other video, I created the music, but I sent it off to Europe for them to do it. Fiverr. Somebody in Italy arranged it for me. So check out the link for Fiverr too. I've already had a couple people use it, but you know, this is how, if I'm going to earn anything, and right now it's nothing, but hopefully in time it will be beneficial. But okay. On this channel, I am asking, do not advertise. So don't join the group and just try to jump in here and advertise, because you'll be taken off, okay? Don't advertise on here. If you have a driver or something you want to recommend, of course, you know, or a tour or something that you recommend, yeah. But don't get on here and don't backdoor and direct message anybody with sales, because I'm a salesperson, but that, you know, we can't have in the group. Everybody wants to be helpful to each other, not trying to get something from each other. So if anybody does get any type of sales calls or messages, let me know and I'll take care of it. Let me know where it came from and I'll take care of it. Or Luis will take care of it. Okay, let's see. Rose says, I love your charity initiative. I like to know my money is going to the right people. Exactly. And I've been there, so I know. And I've donated before. You really need to take that tour. It's called the El Faro Comuna 8, Comuna Ocho. It's on the side of the hill, and you know, I don't know if they call favelas or what, but let me tell you something. It's a humbling experience. It is a humbling experience. Watch my videos. Just type in DC Born Rob Comuna 8 or El Faro or something like that, and you'll see that video. Take that tour. That's where your money is going to go. And I'm going to have Andres on this week, hopefully, and he can elaborate even more. He says, this is Rose. I love your charity. I'd like to know where my money is going. The right people. As much as we love Medellin, we should help. We should be able to help too. So exactly. I will take note of Andres' number for my next tour. Absolutely. Excellent. Appreciate it, Rose. Christopher Garcia says, do you still need a PCR test if you are been vaccinated? Yes. As of right now, I see that changing in the future once they get a certain percentage of us vaccinated. Supposedly, you don't need to quarantine when you come back to the U.S. or if you've been around somebody. Let me change that. If you've been around somebody who's been positive, normally they tell you to quarantine. If you've been vaccinated, now the CDC is saying you don't have to. But yes, you still need a PCR test if you are vaccinated right now to fly. I see, and I had this discussion on a few videos ago about will there be some sort of interaction between the CDC, the health department, and your passport? Yes, I see that coming. You know, it's going to be on your passport, some type of electronic way to show that you've had your test. You know, right now they give you a card. So, and it tells you, this is what the card looks like. But it tells you, you know, when you had your first dose, and then when you come back, you get the second one. So this is what you have to carry with you to prove that you had it. But I see this being electronic in some sort in the future where they're going to tie it into your passport. And you may need it for international flying. And I think eventually you're going to need it for domestic as well. That's just me. Again, everything I give is just my opinion. Okay. Okay, that was Christopher. Blaine says, I'd like to visit Energy Living in El Poblado. That's a good spot down there. Yeah, I've seen that on the chat line. I have never been to Energy. So if somebody has information, again, all this is going to be on the WhatsApp chat group. It's all there. Near Marine 21, he says, Christopher, yes, you do at this time. There will be a policy in place for vaccinated travelers sooner or later. Yep. Let's see, because here's the thing. With the virus, there's the infection where you have COVID, and then there's the disease where you get sick from it. So most of us get the infection, you know, 99% of the people here get the infection and don't get sick from it. But the 1%, which could possibly be me, which is why I'm taking the vaccine, can still get you can still get the infection, and they're not 100% if you can't still pass it. Even if you've been vaccinated, you can still get the virus and pass it on to someone else possibly. So they say they're 50-50 on that. So we don't know where we are on that right now. Okay, Mr. Rob is the man. Hey, appreciate it, BJ. Appreciate it. Tosh Thompson. Yes, I mean $1,500 a month on an apartment. Oh yeah, $1,500 bucks for an apartment. Are you going to live there? By the way, $1,500 bucks. You should be living well. I think you should be. Don't go to the. Well, it depends on how long you. I mean, are you talking of moving? If you're talking of moving and spending that amount of money, man, you're gonna be living good. If the shorter your term, the less you're gonna get out of that $1,500 bucks, though. Just like the video I did yesterday for the Airbnb, and I have some older Airbnb videos too. It just depends on how long you're gonna be there. For a month, you're gonna get a rate. You know, for 3 weeks, you get one rate. You add the week to it, you get a better rate, possibly. But the same with 2 months. You do 2 months, you get a better rate than if you did just one. And by all means, listen, I learned this when I was a child. Ask. I ask for discounts I'm a salesperson, so I don't care if I'm buying. My girl laughed at me because I was buying something. She said it was for less than $1, like it was 90 cents, and I asked, could I get it for 60? That's just what I do. I'm in sales, so it never hurts to ask, is what I'm trying to say. Text that person. It takes me hours to find an Airbnb. Text that person and say, okay, are you sure this is pet free, whatever? hey, what's the best rate you can do on this? You know, do not wire money. Don't wire money though. That's my suggestion. And I've read, you know, there's some horror stories about people wire money ahead and they came up missing. Only do it through the app. That way you're covered through Airbnb. And Airbnb, I've heard different stories. Everybody's had their own experiences. My experience, if you saw my video yesterday, I've used them dozens of times. And my experience is overall good, 95% good, 90% good. So out of, I don't know, every 22 weren't too good. I had one place that actually, I went up and looked at the apartment, came back down. This is in Dallas. I came back down to my car, and when I went back up, there was an eviction notice on the door. So I sat there like, okay. So I went back down to grab my laptop so I could log on online and let them know. And then it says, when I came back, I don't know how this magical note got on my door. It says, you need to be out in what, 2 or 3 days. I was like, no, you need to give me, Airbnb got me out, got me moved. And they did the same thing for me when I went back to Medellin the last time. I had some issues at that first location, watch that video, and they moved me to it. That was a crazy night, man. But you know, as long as you don't stress out over things, man, and let things happen like they're going to, and think positive, things will turn out. So it turned out, and I got back in the same building I was before, which is where I wanted to be. Okay, but if anybody has information on energy, yeah, put that out there. Put that out, you know, on text here or in the WhatsApp group as well. Okay, Tosh says, yeah, $1,500, man. You should be living good, Tosh, for real. I think off $1,500, I didn't pay that, and I lived okay. I mean, I wasn't high off the hog. I didn't have a penthouse. I was on the 9th floor. Loved it though. For what the experience that I wanted to have, that was perfect for me, and I ain't paid nowhere near that. I think I barely paid that for 2 months. So, okay. Those are delicious. Okay, Neil Breen. So you know about Ochuva? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, these things are good, man. When I saw it, I kept going back. Do y'all have it? Do y'all have it? Nope. And all of a sudden, I saw it the other day, and I was like, dang, man, $4.98. It's like 25 in here. I was like, man, I can't. I wanted to buy a couple of them, but I was like, no, that's all right. I'll hit them up when they come back the next go round. Rose says, I would stay in Medellin. I would say Medellin is 3 times cheaper than the States. So if you want to have a flat for $1,500 a month, you can get the comparable of a $4,500 flat in the US. So if that tells you anything, state matters too, because you can get more here in Texas than you can in New York and LA. Okay, let's see. Where am I? Okay, Rose, and that was Rose. Travel shortcuts. Says, all right, mate. Where you from, mate? We are still waiting for you in Parque Yeres. So we got a spot right here with your name on it. Yeah, I'll be back. My spot at Yeres was the one on the corner across from the liquor store. They changed the name during all the shutdown and stuff. When they open back up, it's a totally different place. Right to the left of Gusto's. That was my spot when I came from dancing off of the other side of 10th Street. I'd walk over there, and she knew what I wanted. They gave me my popcorn, and I'd order some food, and she brought my double of vodka over there. That was my spot. Everybody has their place. You know, the first time they tried aguardiente, and anybody tried aguardiente, that's their national liquor. You know, it'll put a look on your face. What's this? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I was supposed to do a month in Bogota, at least. Wanted to do once the U.S. put the PCR test in. I came home to be safe. Doing Brazil in April, but would like to go back to Colombia first. Yeah. Well, Brazil, you know, Brazil's off the chain. I mean, the virus is up. Yeah, I've seen videos, man. Hardly anybody's wearing masks. So that means, you know, more people are going to die. More people are going to get it. And then, obviously, no one's talking about it. But if you come up positive on a PCR test or rapid test before you're coming back to the U.S., guess what? You ain't coming back. You ain't coming back. I've read every possible scenario. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? What if I do this and I get a positive? No, if you get a positive test, you're not coming back. You're not coming back until you get a negative test. That is, as of right now, it's been that way since they started. I believe on the 12th and, on the 22nd of last month. But that 26th of last month. But that's it. You're not coming back in. So I'm waiting. And if it's you, let me know, because I want to talk to you. I want to get you on. And that's another thing I said, overbook your Airbnb. If you stand for 3 weeks, get a month. You get a better rate possibly, and you may need that extra week. You know, even if you only stand for 3, because you can scoot out early and say, hey, you know, I got an emergency, I got to roll. And they're happy because then they can rent it out to somebody else. Okay. Blaine Walker says, I think at some point when you fully vaccinated, meaning taking 2 shots, that they may enable someone to bypass the COVID test. At some point, I see that coming too in the future. It makes sense, you know, especially the more people they get vaccinated. Ben Omar says $1,500 a month on an apartment. You'll have a penthouse with all the amenities. I'm telling you, you can live good for $1,500 a month there. Real good. And a good location too. Just remember when you're on Poblado, you're on the side of a mountain, so you're gonna be humping. $1,500 apartment will make you the next mayor of Poblado. That says Luis. Okay, travel shortcuts. LOL wrote, you are damn well known what I mean. Okay, Rose says, I know what you mean, bro. That's hilarious. Thompson says, thanks, appreciate your feedback. Excellent. Hope some of this helps some of you guys. I've got a couple of good videos in the can already. I'm going to post in the next couple of days, but I need to get Andres on first and tell you guys what we have with the tours. And please look at my video that I did for the charity. For El Faro, the neighborhood in Comuna 8. They need help. These, last year when Andres reached out to me, they needed food. That's when they were hanging the white flag out their windows, trying to get, attention of the government, saying that they didn't have food in their house. Let me tell you, I went up there and they can use every bit that you give them. I went up there hungry too. And again, I'm diabetic. I have to eat when I get hungry. I got up there and I was like, Andres, man, I need to get a bag of chips or some candy or something. I got to eat something. And they were like, oh, you want something? And the girl that was with us, because he's interpreting for us, and she went and made me a pastel de pollo. And she cooked it on a fire grill out in the backyard. That's their kitchen, out in the backyard on this grill. And man, let me tell you something. It was good. It was good. And I was greatly appreciative too. Okay, thanks for feedback. Let's see. Touch Rose. Okay. How you doing, Rob? J Love, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Have you joined the group chat? And if not, again, we have like 25 more spots that are free. So jump in there and let me know, and I'll get you a link. Let's see. Travel shortcuts. Rose left all loud for sure. Rose, but it's no joke. Mangoes and papayas are delicious there. They are huge. Okay. J Love said, did you hear President Ivan Duque approved 1 million Venezuelans can enter Colombia? Yeah, I did that story last week. 1 million. Yeah. Yeah, so they can work, they can get social services. Yep, I saw that story last week. Robberies in Medellin will definitely pick up in Medellin. Yeah. I mean, the desperate people do desperate things. And if you're fighting for food, I guarantee if you were here in the States and you were hungry, you'd probably walk in a grocery store and take some food. I mean, especially if it comes to feeding your family and your kids. Okay, New York Marine says, I agree the U.S. officially has more vaccinated people than infected. We just have to wait a few months to see life adjustments. Okay, anybody who's, read a couple more of these, but anybody who wants to call in on the WhatsApp line, call me on the WhatsApp line. Go ahead and call in because I want to see if how this will work. If it's possible, just go to my number and then hit on the phone. Don't video. I had too many videos going on right now. Okay, why would tourists want to travel to Colombia just to solicit prostitutes? That's crazy and dangerous. Jay, we've gone back and forth a few times on that, brother. People go for different reasons, and just like everybody's got opinions, everybody's got reasons for travel. Whether I agree with it or not, it's not going to matter. Okay. Ben Omar says, I know it can happen to anyone, but some people are just stupid and almost asked to get robbed. Got to move with some intelligence. Yeah. You do. Big Mike, what's up, man? What's up? Colombian Rob. Yeah, man. You still in the US fighting the snow? Big Mike was there for months on end. What was you there? 7, 8 months? Living the life. I think he was actually in my old building, and now he's back in the US in the snow. We're getting ready to get ice today in Houston, man. My girl had to run back early today. So we did have Valentine's Day yesterday. Yeah, man. Intelligence. Let's see. I knew what you meant. J-Love, you can still get robbed regardless of being intelligent and vigilant. You know, I tell people, you know, you can do all the right things, especially with the scopolamine. You know, I think outside of being in a group, you know, there's 5 of you, odds of everybody getting drugged are slimmer, you know, than if you were by yourself and the girl says, hey, come on over, you know. So try to be in a group. That's another good thing for this group chat too, because if you go down as a solo traveler, you now have compadres from the group chat that you can jump on with. I hope this is on. So you can hook up with some people on here, and you have already, but hook up with some people here online. And then when you get there, just meet them there and hang out together. The strength in numbers. You know, some people say, I saw somebody commented, says somebody called him and said, he was at Gusto's and said, somebody called him and says, hey man, come on down to El Centro with me. It was like midnight. He's like, yeah, nah. Yeah, El Centro, I mean, you know, it's daytime. It's just so many people. It's the whole, for me, it's the whole mass of people. It's just too many people. Daytime, you're cool, you're straight. But, you know, I took my girl in. She's looking at the statues. Oh, look at the statues, and it's so wonderful. And she's just enjoying the experience. And I'm over here like this, just trying to see who's looking, because somebody's always watching. Believe that. Somebody's always watching. When you look at them, they may turn away, but somebody's always watching you if they think you're a tourist. So just know that. Somebody's always watching. And don't go to El Centro at night if you ain't got no reason to be down there. You want to take your video camera and film something. There's a YouTuber down there walking around. He's got a gimbal. Where's my gimbal? It's almost like this. This is not a gimbal, but it's almost like this. And with his phone up like this, and he's walking down the street like this. Hey guys, I'm going to show you this. And I'm like, and I've seen him do it live. And I'm like, oh man, any day, any minute now, that video is going to go running away. It's just too much of a target. Look. How easy is that to take? And 2 or 3 of them, and you've seen the videos, they pull up on the back of a motorcycle, one of them hops off with a gun, you're gonna give it up. Even if you got a spare, what you gonna do, go out and keep on recording? I mean, so be careful when you're recording too. I don't know how some of y'all get in the recordings. And I saw, I think that was you, Israel, it said you had a burner camera. But I get that. Always have 2 cameras. Take 2 phones. Take 2 phones. Leave one back at the apartment. Because you can, as long as you have Wi-Fi, you can make phone calls on WhatsApp or wherever. Everybody uses WhatsApp down there. Okay, okay, he says, true, yeah, true, but I swear some people ask for it. Yeah, I mean, there was a discussion yesterday on the chat about wearing shorts. You can wear anything you want, but if you wear shorts, you're gonna be marked as a tourist. Do you wanna be a tourist? You know, if you want to be a tourist, walk around with a map. Hey, excuse me. Perdón, ¿dónde está el banco? Just walk up to somebody, keep walking up to people, asking where the bank is, you know, with your shorts on. But, I mean, you want to wear shorts, you want to wear shorts. It's just a matter of being set aside as being a tourist, that's all. Okay, yeah, I do. Okay, so TM says, I'm noticing Airbnb is starting to charge more in fees lately, even for longer stays. Possibly. I know some of the fees, and depending upon the states here too, you know, or the country you're going to, they're adding in state tax and all this rental tax because the government's not getting enough money from us every other way. Ben Omar says, resurrected, true. So dude, TM says, okay, that was you. J-Love. I'm Colombian, and I personally wouldn't live in Medellin with a budget of $1,500 a month. No, it wasn't a budget of 15. It was $1,500 for his apartment. That's what I was asking. I would, shoot. When I'm supposed to be able to collect Social Security in 4 years. I'm 58. I'm supposed to be able to collect Social Security in 4 years, and I'm getting $1,200 a month. And if I can get figure out a way to make another $1,000, I could live there for that 2,200. I could live there on 15 if I had to. Can't live here for 15. Well, you can, but just not the same lifestyle. Not how you want to be. You want to be comfortable. You can't live here. Okay, Rose says, Brother Rob, a common question, where to get the best exchange rate? I say the best rates are from regular cash machines. Just get the largest amount possible, as they do charge a $6 fee. That's true. I always went to the bank and took it off my card. Always use Banco Colombia, and if possible, always try to use it at the, always, but if I can, I do it at the mall. And I was right next to Santa Fe Mall, or half a mile away from Santa Fe Mall, so I would use that. I don't think I got hit with $6 fee though. Also, if you have a Charles Schwab account, they don't have fees, and I think the other feeless one is Scotiabank. But the ATMs are very difficult to find. And make sure that your card is on the same network, because your card may not work at that bank. Okay, you may, they'll be, say for instance in the mall, there may be 5 Banco Colombias, and 2 or 3 of something else, and 1 or 2 of something else. But your card doesn't work in each one because of the network. Like when it says on the back, the network Pulse or whatever it is, there's different networks, so it may not work. But that's how I got my money. And I always have money. Like now, I have COP now. So when I go down, I have a few $100s in COP. I don't have to scramble as soon as I land. I do that for every country I've been to. I have Vietnamese dong. I have the dom whatever in Dubai. I have Filipino money. I have Canadian money, Mexican peso. I got, because I never know when I'm going to go back. And when I go back, Costa Rica. I got Costa Rica money. Okay, Brazil, let me miss anybody. Common questions. Okay, Nick Marine says Brazil is banned from entering Colombia. Yeah, they did that about a month ago. Beware, they close land borders with Brazil. If you're a U.S. citizen traveling from Brazil to Colombia, do some research. Good one. VJ, what's up? Big Mike says, J Love, they were talking about $1,500 a month for an apartment. Yeah, okay. New York Marine, it's all because of the Brazilian variant. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can't get, I saw a message from Andres come up to, he was actually on a hike. I've been trying to reach him. Let me see if I can't call him and see if I can get him on. Andres, again, is my guide, my recommendation for any tours that you're going to do. He does the airport pickups as a favor to me, for my viewers. But that's, he's not making any money on that. By the time he goes back and forth, he's maybe missing out on a tour. But he does that for me as a favor, just somebody that I can trust. Let's see if he answers. BJ says, Bro Rob, wouldn't it be a loophole to fly out of Mexico and cross the border via car? Ask Rose. He figured that one out. Rose had every different option. He's like, I can come up, worst comes to worst, I come up positive. I can go to Mexico, go to Tijuana and jump across the bridge. But that, supposedly, and I've checked and checked and checked. In writing, it says the land borders between Mexico and the U.S. are closed. But I know people going back and forth. And it's not, at least there it's not. I don't know about here in Texas. But in from San Diego crossing over to Tijuana, they're not checking. They're not checking. And I'm hearing it from you, So yeah, that would be a loophole, if you ended up there. Now, I don't know if you're going to walk across the border with your luggage. You may want to think of that, or I don't know how that's going to work. If you want to take a taxi across the border, I've always walked. I've been across that border dozens of times, but I've always walked. I've never driven across. I'll take an Uber down to the border, walk across, then you hop in a taxi. Okay, VJ, I think land borders into the U.S. from Mexico is closed until at least this month, but they can still extend it, yeah. But from what I'm telling from you guys, a lot of comments, man, and they're saying they're going now. J-Love, Big Mike International, okay, $1,500 solely for an apartment is cool, yeah. Okay, Rose says, safest way to pull money out of a cash machine is inside of a mall or inside a supermarket. Yep. Don't use the cash machines on the streets. You can get robbed. Yep. And watch some of the videos too. I'm trying to find the links when I start my research again for the next video, and I'm doing a story. Up, we got Andres right here. Andres,
Hey Rob.
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Hey, by the way, you are live on my live chat right now.
All right.
Okay, so I'm just telling everybody that that you do the airport pickups for me as a favor, the airport pickups and drop-offs, but your core business is the tours. And so I'm letting everybody know, and just like Chef Jay said, he's donating a percentage of the check to El Faro Neighborhood, Comuna 8, and we're gonna do the same thing with ours too, right? So any percentage I would get from you is going to El Faro. Are you still there? I think I may have lost you.
50% of the percent. Hello?
Okay, I hear you now. I hear you.
Yeah, so 100% of the percentage that you get for referring, it's going to El Faro Neighborhood as a aid.
Exactly.
For different projects that they're doing and helping the community.
Exactly. Let me ask you this too. I don't know when the last time you've been up there is, but remember that building that had the cockfight area out back? That building?
Yes.
Is it still there?
It is still there, but the project that they had in this building, they are building a new house for it. So like a proper place for guests, for workshops for the kids, for workshops of movies or acting or graffiti classes. They are doing a new one, like a more appropriate space for it.
Okay.
But they keep working on it.
Excellent. Well, they'll decide where the money can go, and depending upon how much money we can generate, I'm sure they can put it towards whatever project. But I wanted to bring you on right quick just so you can, you know, confirm that we are giving a percentage. Whatever percentage I would get from you is going to the charity of Comuna 8, El Faro. Okay.
That's correct.
And
all the percentage is going where to El Faro.
Exactly. And for tours, hopefully I can catch you sometime this week. I want to do a video so people can see what your tours actually looks like. That you need to, I want to tell everybody to get out and enjoy more of Colombia than just downtown Parquilleras or Poblado or 70. So anyway, I know you're busy. I know you're just coming off a tour, but yeah. I'm gonna let you go. I know you're just coming off of a tour, but we'll talk later, okay?
All right. Hope everyone gets excited about coming to Colombia, and just any questions, shoot at any that you want to know about Colombia or Medellin, any help you need, we're here for it.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll talk to you soon, Andres.
Yes, bro.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, it was cutting off a little bit, but now you know from him. I won't say very few people I trust, but in another country, who do you trust? You know, how do you know who to trust? I spent a lot of time with Andres. I did a bunch of tours. I did the downtown tour. I did that tour. He even created a tour for me for Poblado, because I wanted to know what made Poblado Poblado, what made Parquilleras Parquilleras, how to get its name, you know, the history. I wanted to know it all, and then we just hung out there. So he's a good guy. For those of you who have written, by the way, anybody on here, let me know if you've taken Andres before. Okay, safest way. Let's see. Let's get back to this. Thanks for the info. This is from VJ. Thanks for the info. I was going to go to Ensenada next weekend. Going to look into it. Okay. Easy. 72 strong. Okay. You skipped over this earlier, but what is the charge for a ride from the airport to Sweet Georgia with your driver guy? Oh, shoot, I just missed him on the phone too. I think it's either 150. Is it? I can't remember. It's like $35 or $40, and then the percentage is going off of that. I think it's $35. Yeah, US dollars. And I forgot what that is in terms of, let me see if he has it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's 150 mil. So, or no, that must have been for two. So 120. And he's also done one for 105. So it just depends on where you're going to go. So 120, let me see how much that is. In COP. Have a converter, by the way. It'll help save your life. Okay, let's see. 120. 120 is $34. So then $3.40 goes to our charity. In the name of DC Born Rob's viewers, okay? So in your name, I'm going to go, the next time I go down there, I'm going to do this tour. I'm going to go up and see the guys also and see the building and see what they're working on and see where we can best use our money and maybe push it, direct it to that. For instance, that building that I was just speaking of, maybe we can have our name put up top, and for us helping to, feed those who need food. So let's just do what we can to help those that are in need. Let's give something to the country because we've sure enough taken a lot from it. When we go every time and we enjoy it. Okay, New York Marine 21 says flights are going strong into Mexico. Oh yeah, you can fly into Mexico. It's just the drive-through borders that are closed for now. They're supposed to be, yeah. You can fly there. And I know some people there now too. And Playa del Carmen, it's supposed to be nice. The green cash machines give you the best exchange rate at the lowest cost. Okay, I wasn't familiar. Is that a certain bank? I'm not familiar with that. I'm going to be the 25th to Santa Marta. Okay, Santa Marta is nice, man. I stayed in Medellin because I like the weather. I like perfect weather. I like no bugs. I don't like cold. I don't like hot. I don't like,